Of course, home appliances are a big part of IFA and have been for years. Our next guest leads one of the leading manufacturers of premium domestic appliances, and he's been a guest before. It's always a pleasure to have the executive director and co-proprietor of Miele, Dr. Reinhard Zinkann. Dr. Zinkann, welcome back into Tomorrow. How are you, sir?
Thank you. I'm very well, Dave. Good to see you again and good to be back in Berlin at IFA.
Oh, for sure. We had that hiatus for some silly thing that occurred, as we all know, over the last couple of years, but we're over that. We're
the
back.
little silly thing nobody wanted, there was no demand, nobody wanted, nobody asked for it, nobody knew it, but
we had to deal with it.
We had to deal with it.
Exactly. But we're back, and tech is back as well, and home appliances are back as far as this awesome trade show go, and we appreciate that. You were very involved with many aspects, and of course the IFA Plus Summit as a speaker. So I want to, before we get into some Miele goodies with your company and what you're displaying here at IFA, you were speaking about foresight and response to current challenges. Tell me a little bit about your speech here at IFA.
Well, I was thinking and speaking about the challenge that the complexity gives to us, because it's the complexity of the multitude of so many various different things and topics that have to be managed. It is the supply chain topic, it is the COVID topic, but of course it is also the horrible war in Ukraine that it has to be thought about, that has its consequences. Think only about gas and energy in Europe and the galloping prices, which will have its consequences. So that all are issues that have to be dealt with, and that has something to do with a fire brigade or with a firefighter on one side, but on the other side, we are not firefighters, because we do have to fight the fire, but we are, as a family business, always thinking long-term. We never look short-term sighted, so we have to firefight short-term, but think and act long-term.
That's actually a great analogy, I think, because it's something that people can relate to. And we've all heard, in some cases, folks say, oh, they're using the supply chain excuse again. Well, it's not an excuse. If you can't get parts and supplies for whatever it is you're manufacturing, you can't manufacture.
It's absolute reality. I mean, when we had the semiconductor topic, the whole world, including the car industry, had huge problems by not getting the semiconductors. Nobody could foresee how dependent we all were on semiconductors. And it was three things that happened at the same time. There was the snowstorm in Texas, there was a fire in Taiwan, and then there was the overall logistic issue with China being closed, that all came together and caused a disaster. So the whole industry had to deal somehow with it. And of course, that was day-to-day task forcing. What can be done, where do we get things, and so on.
And of course, heading up, as you do, the big company Miele, there was a challenge that from the top down you were having to deal with. And how do you deal with such a thing? Is it a matter of, well, we can't make these particular products currently, so you have to concentrate on what you can get, whether it's chips and other parts. You still have to stay in business, and you manage, obviously, to do so.
Of course, we try to produce whatever is possible. And we try to deliver whatever is possible. So the main topic is, in general, to get the semiconductors. And we try to purchase wherever possible throughout the whole world on the free market from companies that had some that they don't need or didn't need, and. It was a huge price tag on it, but our teams were able to at least get more than originally predicted.
Good.
Yet, we could have produced much more. Yet, especially in COVID, where people were locked down and actually were looking at their houses and were willing to purchase new products, were willing to invest in their houses, buy new kitchens, buy new, not only furniture, but also new appliances, and we couldn't deliver, or we couldn't deliver to the extent that we wanted to. But it was, in the end, better than we foresaw it at the beginning.
Is it safe to say that your company is over the majority of those challenges now? I mean, I'm sure some still linger, but you're back to more production than you had in the last couple of years.
Yes, I mean we are we're strongly getting better, and we definitely have overcome a few of the issues. The supply chain has become better, but yet China is closing down again.
Yeah.
So the next topic is just coming up, and that's something to do with firefighting. We've got now to see what does that mean for us, and what we will do. I give you another example. When this huge container ship, I don't know if you have followed that, had an issue in the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal was closed.
Yeah, blocking the canal.
Exactly. It was blocking the canal, so it was closed down. And it took quite a while till they freed that ship. We had a lot of, I think, 8 or 10 containers on it.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot of appliances stuck there.
The port authorities, of course, when they freed it, asked for a lot of money to give them to us.
Yeah, and well, as if they were holding them hostage, all the containers.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Because, of course, they want to have their cost paid plus.
Yeah. Yeah, they got to make money on it or it's not worth it for them. What a shame. So, yeah, that's true, too. I mean, that was a while ago, but you see the after effects of things like that.
And things you can't predict.
Of course not. But what we can predict and talk about are some of the things that you're showing here at IFA this year, since tech is back and home appliances stronger than ever and getting more and more consumers very interested in doing new things for their kitchens, for example.
True. I think the two major topics for IFA, and I suppose others who have sitten on this chair before have said the same, are definitely sustainability, our environment, plus technology in terms of smart home and artificial intelligence. That are the major topics. And we on our booth built the whole booth around sustainability. We have in the middle a sustainability avenue underlining what we understand under sustainability and how we want to live it, what we're going to do for it. By example, we will keep the booth for 3 years. Everything that we cannot keep can be 100% recycled.
Wow.
We only use natural materials, which, for example, meant that my beloved gummy bears were banned.
Oh, no. Oh. It presents its own challenge, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. But the fact that you have the ability to make those kinds of changes and to be, as you said, more sustainable makes a difference because in the long run it is helping consumers, it's helping everyone.
For example, one of the points is we have a dashboard that you can now load on your smart device, iPhone or whatever it is, and there you can see the consumption of your product, meaning you can see how much water and energy is used in what cycle and how much does that cost you, and you compare it with the previous cycle. So you actually can really influence by active using your cost of energy.
Well, and this is on your app.
It's on our app.
Oh, very sweet. And of course, you've got to show new and exciting, cool products here. And as we have had the chance to walk by and observe your booth, a lot of excitement about some new things. I understand a new refrigerator, for example, that you've introduced.
There is a new refrigerator which holds its energy class longer than the previous fridges did, and it offers more space inside. So it's, to our mind, the latest state of the art, plus it is also in the energy class very highly rated.
Well, very good. And in terms of technology, of course, energy is very important in maintaining that, but do you have a lot of new tech in some of your new appliances?
We have so many topics that we show. If I would like to highlight them now, that we would sit here probably a bit longer.
Yes, I mean, unfortunately, we have many exhibitors to speak to.
Exactly.
But give me some highlights.
I give you the highlights. One of the highlights is the HydroClean. This is the water cleaning within our steam cookers. Second highlight would be a new cooktop with a scratch-proof surface.
Nice.
And third would be our new extractors, which are in the cooktop, which are more efficient and less noisy.
Oh, so they extract the exhaust, I'm guessing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And then we have, so it's a cooker hood integrated in a cooktop.
Gotcha.
Then we have also what I love is our new Triflex, which has a stronger motor, so it gives more power. And is simply a lovely product. But there are many, many more.
Oh, sure.
So I would really warmly invite you to come to the booth and see it with your own eyes.
Yes, exactly. And see more of the cool products. Real quick, what are your goals for the rest of this year with everything being back on track and hopefully whatever normal is, I use air quotes, back to normal? You must have some more specific goals. Anything you can share with us?
Well, probably the goal is to achieve our budget. And the goal is to counterfight any issues with the supply chain. And this unbundling the global supply chain crisis is a very intensive process. I talked about it just today on stage. Probably these are the most important topics we have right now. And then, of course, we have to think about the consequences of the upcoming recession, about the inflation, about what that does with our business.
Sure.
But I'm not afraid because first we have excellent products. Second, we can really prove we do everything we can to reduce the CO2 consumption. We do it in every way in our factories, we do it in logistics, we do it everywhere. And fourth, important is that in times of insecurity, consumers tend to trust more in strong brands and a promise that they are sure is fulfilled. We have for 123 years fulfilled forever better, immer besser, and we're hoping to do that in the next generations as well.
Good. And continuing to make your product available around the globe as well.
That's quite right. We are growing around the globe, but we can only grow as fast as our service ability grows with us.
Sure.
Because if you have a premium product, the consumer expects a premium service, so we have to deliver him a premium service and not have him wait for 4 weeks until a technician comes and shows up.
Yeah, especially for something like a refrigerator or something that's so important
that
to
he needs
maintain
every
your
day.
Food. Yes,
exactly. But there is a lot of room for growth, even in times of uncertainty. I do see the challenges, I do see the threats, but I'm not afraid. I see the opportunities, and that's what I'm seeking for.
Good. Well, you always enlighten us when we have you on. We should chat more frequently, and I appreciate you spending a few minutes with us here during our IFA specials.
Thank you very much.
It's our pleasure. Dr. Reinhard Zinkann is the Executive Director and Co-Proprietor for Miele, Miele.com. We'll get you there, of course, when you visit us at intotomorrow.com. Stay tuned. There's more in our 20th year covering IFA, our 27th year on the air, bringing you the latest in consumer tech and home appliances, of course. Visit us at intotomorrow.com. I'm Dave Graveline. Stay tuned. More to come from Berlin, right here on the Advanced Media Network.